All right. Can you hear me? Please say you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes? It's true? You can hear me? Hooray! Hooray! Welcome back. 9 of you. 16. Oh boy. Hey, thank you guys. Thanks for coming over here. Yes, victory. So I have learned, if I'm going to move, do not unplug the snowball. We need the snowball. Okay, well, we have saved the questions. Jason, did you send them to Alicia? Is that how this is going to happen?
I don't know. He hung up.
We're going to have to do a mighty lightning round, I think, to make up for lost time.
Yes.
So today is one mighty lightning round of carrying on. Sorry, guys, I'm just super stoked that you're back, so this is how it's going to go.
Daniel Arnold sent $50.
Oh my gosh.
And the old
I can't lightning round that.
Thank you for your content that helped me in my research prior to owning my Wilma here in Australia. Are you interested in discussing or doing a video on exercising your snake outside? Example, allowing them in the garden rather than just the grass.
I think that's a really fun idea. You definitely always want to be careful that you don't put them down in an area where they could find a hole very quickly. Be very careful about that. But I'm so excited for you. I'm glad that our channel was able to help you. And I hope to be back to Australia someday. What an awesome place you live in.
Thank you for supporting us.
Yeah, that is so kind of you.
Jacob Bloom from Canada said, "Happy early birthday, Owen," and sent $50.
Oh my gosh. You guys are so kind.
Thank you so much. Okay, Jason just sent me in.
And almost everybody's back. Almost everybody's come back.
Woo, thank you.
You guys are amazing.
Okay. Oh, wow. I can't believe Jason did this fast. Okay, you ready for the
And the notification just came in. I just got a notification. He's going to carry on! Darn right I am.
Okay, oh, these are all of them. I have to scroll down to where we were.
Lightning! You guys are so incredible. Thank you for your patience. Are you a lizard? I am not, though I do get that comment fairly often. Apparently me and, what's his name on Facebook, created Facebook, Zuckerberg, apparently we're both lizards. I don't know why they say that.
Okay, let's see. Oh, Anthony Simone said, "Can't wait for our Bronx Zoo trip."
I am seriously so excited, Anthony. Like he's talked to me for a few actually face-to-face conversations about just the radness that is the Bronx Zoo. I'm so excited about that. They've got gharials and false gharials, which I only just recently realized. The closest relative to the false gharial is the gharial, and the closest relative to the gharial is the false gharial. They're a monophyletic group. Usually when I think of a false something, like a false water cobra, it's not something that's closest relatives are all the other cobras. It's something not related at all. I thought the false gharial was just like a gharial-looking crocodile. No, the false gharial should really be called the other gharial.
Lightning round. Alex Fletcher said, "Hello, Clint. I love your channel. I'm so glad I get to experience my first live stream. I'm ready to step into the world of exotic pets because of you. Thank you."
I'm so glad we were able to help with that. I'm so glad you were able to make it. I hope you're back to this one.
Yeah, sorry about that. Desmond Avant said, "I know that some frogs can change their sex based on how many males and females there are. Is a more dominant male less likely to convert to a female?"
I don't know as well about frogs specifically, but I imagine that it's similar to what you see in clownfish, which is that, and it makes a lot of sense given what we were talking about earlier with regard to life history evolution, is that males, make sense for them to mature young, females not until they're older. The risk of maturing when you're older is that you might die before you ever get to reproduce, unless, awesomely, you were a male when you were younger. And so with clownfish, young clownfish are all males because it's easy to produce a little sperm on the sides. And then if they get particularly large, they develop into females. Best of both worlds, everybody wins.
Yeah.
And I bet it's the same way with frogs. And it would probably be individuals that are particularly small might not ever develop into females, but I don't know that specifically about the frogs.
Let's see. Mitch McKenzie sent a pair lifting weights that said, keep it up. It was when it was, the crazy.
Thank you, guys. Thanks so much for your patience with me during that transition time.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, now I have to go click the new link, too, to see if there's more super chats.
There are new super chats.
What? Okay, I'm ready to read the more super chats. Here we go. Let's see. Kaylor's Aquatic said, moved my Indo-BTS habitat and updated his substrate a few days ago. Really freaked him out. And he just ate first time this morning, hoping to make his habitat bioactive. Info on how to do so.
It's interesting. So we actually are going to have a bioactive blue tongue video coming out very soon. And interestingly enough, when I moved the blue tongue to his new enclosure for about 2 weeks, his personality was pretty different. He was huffing at me and stuff, which he normally never does. And he seems to have finally mellowed back out to his normal awesome self. But it definitely, the change of scenery definitely threw him off a little bit.
Sherry LBW.
Sherry!
Said, need to get you down here to the East Coast and show you and the family the wild, off the beaten track beauty of, are you ready for this? You know where she lives?
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina.
I know.
Lots of fun slithering, crawling, and creeping critters here.
I was just talking about that. Like, we love the Carolinas, though I have never been to the Carolinas. Have you either? Neither?
I don't think I have.
No, we've never been there. So
And
we
we
love
wanna
the
live
Carolinas
there.
on paper. We're like, I think that sounds like the perfect
One
place.
of my best
Everybody
friends
I talk
lived in
to,
North Carolina. I talked to her quite a bit.
everyone I talk to about the Carolinas is like, we pretty rad. It says my connection's unstable. I hope I'm not freezing up.
You're good.
It says that, so cane toads are pretty awesome, and they're ginormous, and they're cool. They can be a devastating invasive species, as we found out in Australia, so you got to be careful about that. And they're fairly toxic, so don't lick them.
Okay. Can you do, this is from...
Just big guys. She was like, what?
Don't like math. Can you do a vid on giant African land snail?
I wish I could. Here's the deal. And I'd actually really love your input on this. We are not allowed to get giant African land snails here. They're quite illegal to import into this state, and so it's difficult. I don't know if are they legal in the United States. I'm not sure. I would love to carry them, or not to carry them, to cover them, but I wouldn't be able to have one in person. So I would have to get somebody who has giant African land snails to send me some footage so I could show them to you, but I couldn't actually have one there, which I think is part of the charm. So let me know if you think it would be worth making a video if I didn't actually have the animal present.
Okay, this is a super chat from our last stream. We read it, but it was right when everything was lagging. So
I am so sorry that everything dies every time. I'm learning technology. I'm learning things not to do, like never unplug the microphone so that you can travel to better internet.
So this is from Gabby Ski, who sent this in the last stream. Could you talk about Nerodia? I love my pair, and it's always nice to have a snake that doesn't eat rodents. Stay small, too.
Yeah, so I'm actually a big fan of water snakes in general. I don't keep any, but you can make really neat enclosures. Well, except for the false water cobra, but it's not Nerodia. But they're really, really neat. Some of them are incredibly beautiful and very, very underrated. So we should definitely cover them eventually.
Yes. Mike says, any tips on housing breeding pairs of crested geckos?
Yeah. Crested geckos are great and they're really reasonable. Make sure that your pairs are getting along one with another. They can potentially bully each other. And I actually prefer a trio over a pair because the male will hassle any individual female a little bit less when there's two to distribute his affection.
Okay, so we might need to read a couple more Patreon questions.
Patreon.
That maybe we missed because of the other thing.
Yeah.
So this is from Puppy Dog again. Top 5 interactive reptile videos or top 5 display reptile videos someday.
I think we covered that before. I think we covered these.
Okay. This is a new one then. Bonkleton. Is this lightning round?
Lightning round.
Bonkleton. Out of the reptiles you own and...
The name Shovel Face gets a good reaction out of people. And Gus, everybody loves his name. Though I didn't name Gus.
My brother named Gus.
Yeah, and so I can't take credit for that one.
That's a good question, though. That's fun.
Yeah, those are great.
Robert Watson said, "Hi, Clint. I had a lovely time chatting with you yesterday and having a heart-to-heart on our mutual love of snakes. You're going to have to pull me away from that Peruvian longtail boa when I get to the reptile room in person. What would be your recommendations for go containers for your snake reptiles in the case of an emergency, e.g. a house fire? What to include, what not to include, and things you should have ready in the container? Heat packs seems like a vital bit of reptile keeping that a lot of people forget about, so I thought it would be good to hear your thoughts on it."
That's a big deal and kind of a long question for a lightning round. But yeah, for starters, I think you can hold the longtail boa as long as you want. Obviously, from our chats, like I'm not quick at taking people away from things that they're really enjoying.
Yeah, but I keep getting mad at because the chats are supposed to be a half an hour long or 1 hour long, and Clint tends to go longer than that. And I'll call him and he long after he's supposed to be done.
Especially with Rob.
Yeah. And I'm like, he calls me later. He's like, "Sorry, I was still in the chat." I'm like, "What? That was supposed to end a long time ago." But Clint loves talking to you guys, so.
A lot of what's going to matter, though, as far as your survival stuff, honestly, is just going to be to have some individual containers ready that you could just throw the animals in. Honestly, after that, just try to take them somewhere that's not freezing or super hot, but you're probably not going to have time to get heat packs going and stuff like that. You just
take them to a friend's house.
Yeah.
Doug Smith said, "I saw on the I saw on the Wasatch Reptile Expo's page that they are planning on doing it going ahead with the October show with some restrictions. How do you think the expo will be, and do you think you'll be there?"
So I told them that I'd be willing to come. Of course, it depends a little bit on what they're doing for those restrictions. Things in Utah have fortunately been pretty mild as far as COVID is concerned. So we are sort of in a different world from where a lot of you guys are. But I think it'll be really neat. I know they're going to very much limit how many people are there at any given time, which honestly could make for a really incredible expo experience. Because, if say you only get an hour in the expo center, but there's just a handful of people there at any given time, that would be an incredible hour, maybe as much fun as a whole day there when you're just waiting in lines.
Yeah. Nick Moore said, "By the way, expos have become a tradition in our family.
Mm-hmm.
We always go with Kevin and Jessica.
Yes, we do.
Every single one. And sometimes we carpool, sometimes we don't. Usually the girls get burnt out from the expo before.
Yeah, so we try to have 2 vehicles.
So we have 2 vehicles, and the girls drive home together after lunch, and the boys stay for the rest of the day. And Kevin and Jessica make us breakfast burritos every single year. It's so cute. I love their tradition. And then we go to lunch together. We take a break from the expo, go to lunch, and then go back to the
Kevin
expo.
and Jessica are amazing about traditions.
Yeah, they're really fun. It's really fun. Okay, sorry. Lightning
Superchat! Lightning!
This is Patreon.
Patreon.
Let's see. Nick Moore said, "I heard a huge downside to a tegu is a long brumation period. Is this true? I'm trying to decide between a tegu and a Cuban rock iguana. Help."
I would not even consider it a downside. It's just a time of the year where they kind of slow down and you don't have to feed them very much.
But they're still just as interactive.
At
least Gus.
Gus does really well all winter, but you can notice when he's slowed down. I mean, he's sleeping a lot more. He's less interactive, but I mean, if you go and call him, he'll still come.
If you build it, they will come.
Yes.
Jeff Gray. "Hey, Clint, just wanted to say thanks for going over the different types of hognose last week. I'd love to see a video about the tricolored hognose someday, as there's not nearly as much information out there about them."
That'd be a cool one. A little while ago, they had some at Animal Arc, and I should have taken advantage of that opportunity. Animal Arc, for the record, and they don't sponsor this channel. They've just been a huge blessing to this channel all along, and they just periodically have all kinds of different awesome things, and so it's a great place to check out if you're interested in that kind of thing. And if it comes through again, I'll make sure to seize the day.
This is the last Patreon question.
The last Patreon, we made it.
Yep, from Greta Frost. "Clinton turkey vultures, homologous structures."
Oh, many. Because we're both vertebrates. We got lots of homologous structures.
Super chat. This is from Alex Belcher. "I think you should come herping in WV, West Virginia.
Yes.
I'd love for you to see a hellbender salamander. They're massive and amazing."
honestly, I would love to go herping out east. I got to do a little bit of herping. Well, I mean, honestly, I got to do city herping while I lived in Florida. That was it. And it was unbelievable. I mean, you just go to the pool, and there was toads. There were bellistomatids, the giant toe biter bugs. So incredible. Tree frogs, anoles, geckos, everywhere. And that, Cuban tree frogs, green tree frogs, just amazing stuff just everywhere you went. And so, I mean, I've honestly never been herping really, like out in the field somewhere like that. And that would be a dream come true for me.
Awesome. Let's see. Nicholas C is on there asking if we can answer his question. So I went back to the old super chats.
How long do I think I can keep the reptile room?
Is that the one?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, I will tell you our hopes for the reptile room. Our hopes for the reptile room is that it is around indefinitely. Honestly, something that would be wonderful. I'd love for our kids to be able to work there, like when they're in high school. And Owen's in the first grade, and Penny's doing preschool this year. So we've, we just have to make it through this COVID period. I'm extremely optimistic about the future of the reptile room. The original dream, and it hasn't quite worked out this way, but my original dream is just to build my perfect reptile room where I would love to spend time and make it open so that others can experience that dream as well. And so hopefully there will come a time, as long as it's supporting itself, I'm going to just be happy that it exists. And thanks to the face-to-faces, even during this really difficult time, it's supporting itself. I mean, it takes
to Jason
setting
all that up, having that idea, helping us figure it out. We could have never done that without.
And it takes me about 30 hours a month of my time to make ends meet with it, which is a lot of time. But
30 hours a month.
Yeah,
or a week?
A month to make ends meet, and that's just the chat's time. But it's so worth it because I love that it exists.
So please keep scheduling those one-on-ones because that's literally how we're keeping it open.
Yes. Now. So without them, it might already be done.
Yeah.
I was really getting to appointments this is just going to run us into the ground and then go under. And at some point I was going to have to decide when. And because of the face-to-faces, we're now building enclosures. We're getting it ready to go. We're getting it really ready. And it was just in stagnation holding pattern.
Should we show them the picture of you and the chameleon?
Yes.
Or of me and the chameleon after it's been mossed.
Yeah, the moss.
So
look what Leisha's been working on.
The reptile room is kind of a dream of both of ours. I think it's almost.
Oh, it was your thing that you brought up, and of course, when you bring up something like that to me, I'm like, no, giant super reptile room, nah.
So my mom and my dad, they're not reptile people. They really do not get it. And so every time they're like, what are you guys doing? Well, I have to explain it over and over. It's not a zoo. It's just a place. And for my family who are not reptile people to get it, I say, imagine a puppy barn, but with reptiles.
But not a puppy barn at all, just for the record.
Yeah, much better.
That was a bad comparison.
But I'm just saying,
but something they're familiar with.
It's not a zoo. You don't just go and look at the puppies. You get to go sit down.
I've never been to a puppy barn, so I don't know how bad they are, but that sounds sketchy.
But you get to, we really, really want it to feel like you're coming into Clint's actual real life personal reptile room. And right now, you really are coming into his real life actual reptile room. Me and my family, me and Clint and our little family, we go and hang out there all the time. We'll go eat Sunday dinners there.
We did New Year's there this last year.
It's like our little personal space that you get to come in, hang out, chat, and hold animals while you're there. Anyways, so I wanted a really cool place for people to take pictures with the animals, and I made a giant chameleon. My dad helped me cut it out of wood, and I just mossed it. It's not quite done yet, but we're going to hang it up on the wall.
You got to get the tilt just right.
See those beautiful stained glass windows back there, too?
Isn't that cool, guys?
So you'll get to take your picture in front of that guy when he's done.
Honestly, I would not have the courage to make something this beautiful and comfortable if it weren't for Leisha.
Cute.
She's what gave me the comfort. I can do the animal stuff, and I can make the inside of the enclosures look nice. But I wouldn't. It feels so homey already, and she's just barely getting going on it.
Thanks, Sadie. Okay, 2 more super chats, and then maybe we'll call it.
Super chats.
Super chat.
Unless they super chat to keep you open.
Naughty. They can't see me hitting you. Okay, let's see. Jason Lowry says, "Hey Clint, we recently picked up a captive bred white-lined gecko. It's super rad, and my son and I would love to see a video on that."
We should definitely do a video on white-lined geckos. Yeah. Kind of the nicer tokay.
Keaton Jones says, "If there was a Komodo dragon that was puppy dog tame and wouldn't try to eat kids or other pets, how would you rate it?" There's a lot
Komodo
of
dragons. I need to do more studying on them. I don't have firsthand hands-on experience with Komodo dragons, but my local zoo where I grew up has Komodo dragons, and they actually seem to be pretty great as far as personality goes. And so I would have to sit through all the categories. There's still going to be a handful, even if they're nice to handle. It seems more like the kind of thing that handles you. Yeah. But availability quite low.
Johnny R just sent a super chat and said, "Connor and I are discussing topics for our next face-to-face."
Oh, right. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a blast.
I was going to say, our community is amazing. You guys are amazing. There was 160 people over on the last live stream, and I don't know 160 people except you guys who would go through the effort of clicking on a new link, coming back, watching, staying with us.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. So true. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is that all of them?
That's all.
We made it. You guys, thank you so much. There are no new ones that have come in.
No new ones.
I don't want to skip anybody. Thank you guys so much. You're just incredible. I'm so glad that we're going to keep doing these. Honestly, they're just such a boost. And let's carry on. As always, like and subscribe. Do you want to smile?
See you later.
As always, like and subscribe. I have a feeling most of you already do. And we hope to see you real soon.